I was like, right guys, well I'm off, and I said, and I hope you all enjoy your jobs, you bunch of cunts.
Welcome to Joy Agenda, the podcast all about joy with me, Jay Lafferty.
And me, Hannah Campbell. We are recording here at Monkey Barrel Studios, and today we have a very exciting guest, friend of mine, a wonderful comedian. It's Erin McKinnie.
Hiya. Hello, Erin.
Hi. Thanks for coming on, Erin.
Thanks for having me.
Because you're a jet-setting lady, so it's hard to track you down. So it's good that you were in Edinburgh for the pod record. So thanks for coming. Because you've just got back from a world trip almost.
I have, yeah. Well, I basically just arrived in Glasgow this morning because I've been I was at the Adelaide Comedy Festival for a couple of weeks, which was super nice because I haven't been before, so it was really cool.
Yeah.
And then I popped over to New Zealand because it's kind of close-ish.
And that side of the world, it's close to you. I was in a plane as close for New Zealand.
I just popped over to New Zealand. Just like in my private jet.
Yeah, my jet popped on over.
No, not quite. I am skint.
I hitchhiked to New Zealand.
Over the Tasman Sea.
I swam.
But it was nice. I've never been before, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah, and you did a gig at the Comedy Club while you were there.
Yes,
yeah,
at the Classic.
Yeah,
which was very nice because I got to experience what a Kiwi audience is like for the first time.
Yeah, I experienced how shite they can be sometimes.
Yes. No offence to any Kiwi audiences listening.
Well, most of you are great. Just sometimes on the Late Show, you're tough. You're tough work.
To the table of 20-year-old virgins, I hate you. Don't come back.
20-year-old virgins or 20 virgins?
Both. But they were so disruptive. I was like, ah! But yeah, it was good fun.
Nice. And then you just flown up from London today because you're here for the Glasgow Comedy Festival as well.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm doing a show on Sunday.
Nice.
So that's the plan, a work in progress show.
Jet setting. So how was Adelaide Festival? Because that can be quite tough, the Adelaide Festival.
It was nice. Like I said, I've never been before, so I didn't do my own solo show. I just went over to do some spots, which is quite a long way to go, to do spots.
Yeah.
But it was really nice because I wanted to get an idea of what it's like there and how the festival runs. So next year I can maybe do my solo show.
Your solo show.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was good. I liked it. I love Aussies. They're just good banter. They're kind of similar to us. Do you know what I mean? They're friendly.
Bit more racist.
Yeah,
little
just
tad
more
more
racist.
Just a tad. Again, no offence, Australians.
Yes, just offending the whole of Australasia at the start of this
We've got the
podcast.
whole Antipodean. And we do have a lot of listeners in New Zealand because of
we do.
yourself.
Yeah, so we'll just say we hate Australians. New Zealand audience, please keep watching.
I don't hate Australians. I love Neighbours and Home and Away.
Yes,
if I'm in New Zealand, I hate Australians. If I'm in Australia, I hate Kiwis. That's
you
it.
You gave us Kylie.
Exactly.
Has New Zealand given us anybody as significantly cultural significant as
they've-
Kylie Minogue?
Well, they're giving us Lord. I mean, she's not quite icon
she's not
status.
quite as-
No. Flight of the Conchords.
Again,
no one that exciting.
No, not as Kylie Minogue.
I mean, there must
icon.
be. There's got to be. Who's the most famous New Zealander?
It's probably Lord Taika Waititi.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I do enjoy.
I do not know who
Taika.
that is.
That's the director. He's married to Rita Ora. I mean, not what he's most famous for, but that's just a fact about him.
I do like that. What we do in this pod is say how famous men are because of the women they're married
Yes,
to.
this is what-
that is very.
That's what we're trying to start.
Very feminist.
Pushing back against the patriarchy.
I like that. I rate that.
Yeah, who else is it? I mean, we're not as big as I'm trying to think of anyone that's like Kylie.
Famous actors who are Kiwis.
Who's come out of New Zealand? This is terrible. I should know this.
What's his name?
Keith Urban is technically Kiwi.
Is he?
He was born in New Zealand, but we've given him to Australia.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
What is the guy from Jurassic Park? Is he not Kiwi?
Yeah, Sam Neill.
Sam
yes,
Neill.
You're
I
right.
like Sam Neill. He's got big daddy energy.
He does have
We
big
love
daddy energy.
daddy energy.
We do
like
love.
that.
Yeah,
I like
Sam Neill's
I'm
probably
buying into that so much more these days.
You said that to me before we even started this podcast. Something about big daddy energy.
I love it so much.
Big daddy. Ewan's got quite big daddy energy.
So producer Ewan, look,
Producer Ewan's like, yeah.
His face was like, do I?
You're bringing a daddy vibe, Ewan. You've got, you fix things. Today you fixed a lot of issues.
Yeah.
I think
Lot
it's
of
the
tech
tash
issues.
as well. It's giving authoritative.
Yeah. Now all the viewers will be like, show us.
Yeah.
Just again. He's like, no, I'm behind
Keeping
the
his
scenes.
big
Behind the scenes.
daddy
It's part of-
energy a
it's part of
secret.
Daddy energy. So what did you prefer then, New Zealand or Australia?
Well, they were very different, but I think I preferred Australia. I think
there's more going on with comedy in Australia.
I think for the comedy stuff, there's definitely more going on, and it's just constant sunshine, which I was really happy with that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas in New Zealand,
you didn't spontaneously combust like most Scottish people.
Yeah,
you did.
No, but
burn?
There was one day where it was like 37 degrees, and I was a bit like, come on now. But you know what? Like, Scottish people are never happy, because if we're here, we're complaining about the weather, and then we're there and we're like, it's a bit too hot. Do you know what I mean?
I'm worried about a friend of the pod, Vladimir McTavish. Who's the most Scottish man that I think I've ever met, and I've met a lot of Scottish men. He was doing
well though.
Yeah, but I worry about him in the sunshine, because he's a runner. He probably wouldn't find our last thing very funny.
Probably
which we'll
not.
chat about in a bit, but He runs in like the 40-degree heat in Australia.
What? Yeah.
And then he'll like send you a text going, I'm not feeling very well. And I'm like, Vlad, you're nearly 70. You're Scottish. Stop running in the sunshine. Just take the week off.
Anybody can run in 40. I can't do anything in 40-degree heat. It's just, it's horrible.
It was pretty rough. But Vlad, he actually helped me out, because his Airbnb that he was staying in the year before, he suggested it to me for me to stay in it. Nice. And it was a caravan in someone's driveway.
The caravan? The woman with the caravan?
The notorious caravan
with the toilet that doesn't work.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I thought it worked, and then I arrived and she's like, that sorry, the water's broken. And I was like,
the water's been broken for like 5 years.
I was like, are you having a laugh? Like,
so you stayed in the caravan in 40-degree heat pretty much. Did it have any aircon?
No.
Oh my God.
But she did let me use her house. She was like, that you can come and go when you please. So I was just like, just made myself at home. So funny, in her bathroom she had a sign at her toilet that says, if you're gonna shit, flush twice. And I was like, this is a classy gaff.
Yeah, but the flush doesn't work. So
yeah, I was like, does it work?
Well, that's what I was about to ask. Is she just very shit phobic, or does it need a two flush?
It needed a two flusher. But it was nice. I liked the caravan. It was cute. Well, it was quaint. It was cheap.
That sounds a bit like a hostage situation, but
just a touch. But she had loads of pets, so it was like.
How big is this caravan?
Not in the caravan with me, in her house. But
okay. Oh, she's not in the caravan with you.
No, that would be
this is what
really
weird.
I'm
picturing you herding the 6 cats in the caravan with the toilet not working. I'm like, Erin, what have you been doing with yourself?
That would be ridiculous to pay for that. Like, I would probably do it if it was free. But do anything that was free.
You're used to kind of the cruise lifestyle, right? Because you've performed on cruise ships.
She's a cruise ship entertainer.
So how did the caravan with no toilet compare to some of the cruise ships?
Well, I was a bit like, darling, I'm not used to this.
You were just on the cruise ships, right? Where were you? Were you around the Med?
No, this one was the Caribbean, which was like amazing because it was a total last minute one. And I don't know, I think someone dropped out and they were like, can you jump on? I was like, yes, please. Yeah. So straight over there for just 1 week. It was...
Because Erin is a singer. Great. And so you do sing, and you also do kind of like a one-woman show kind of while you're there?
Yeah, so it's like a kind of cabaret. So it's like storytelling, jokes, songs, but it's more for like the sort of older cruise ship audience.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So not a lot of swearing.
No.
Not a lot of risky
sexy times.
Although I had to do a late show, but I'm just so not used to doing any swearing on the cruise ship. So I was like, fuck, like what can I say? What can I not say? And in the first one, I realised that I was like still too tame. And they want like a bit of...
Yeah, they're like, we stayed up late.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock.
But then I feel like you 5, do it. We're starving.
You do it. And then they're like, you're a young lady. What are you saying that for? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you can't win. But the next time I did, I was like, right, we're just going to let rip. And I was really rude. And finally, they were like, yes, we love it. Yes, more of this.
You must meet some weirdos on these cruise ships.
100%.
Because I have never been on a cruise ship, and it's not my type of holiday. I don't think the clientele on the cruise ship is. Sorry to any cruise ship listeners, really.
But it's because you're in your 30s. Just give it another
maybe
decade.
I mean, I'll be on that.
Hit that 50, and you go, do you know what I really want? Just a floating bar in the ocean.
It's actually great. Like I never thought I'd like it for a holiday, but I've started going for holidays now, obviously, because my boyfriend's on board, and it's just like, this is great. This is great. Do you know what I mean? Free accommodation, 50% of the flight off because daddy's paying half. It's great. You know what I mean?
Energy.
Daddy energy.
Good. And do you meet any so do you ever get, because I know I've seen some of your Instagram stories about some of the people that have like come up and speak to you after the shows and stuff in the cruise ships. Do you get any like weird comments or from the old people?
Not really. I have
They're all quite nice.
Yeah, I have a lot of people coming up that are like they talk about the singing and they mention that, and I'm like, right, cool. So I wasn't funny at all for you. Right, no bother. I'll just sing. For
it's good though to have another talent to fall back on.
Yeah.
Like Hannah and I have.
We're fucked.
Yeah,
I know.
it's like
These people that have, but you don't laugh at that.
That's why I started learning pole. I was
listen,
another talent.
If your set's gone bad on the cruise ship, just crack the pole out.
Crack the pole open.
I need
But it's a
another
tough
talent
gig,
then.
though. Like it is tough. So when I mean they're quite a hard crowd. Like on the cruise ship. Most comics who I know that are doing ships as well have said the same thing. So sometimes if I'm like, I'm not really vibing this, I'll be like, ladies and gentlemen, the next one, and then I'll just start singing, and I'll save myself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, no, maybe I need another. You're just singing, you're pole dancing. Maybe I'll need to get something else to do.
I'm not really pole dancing now.
You've got the skills.
Well, I have the skills, but
You're doing a competition.
I am doing a competition
Right.
on the 7th.
Are you actually?
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
A pole dancing competition.
I'm doing a pole dancing. Well, it's like it's not so much a competition as I'm pushing myself into the pole world. So I'm
Right.
performing at a pole dancing competition, and it's static pole and spin. So I have to move between two poles, and I have to do floor work.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
like a prop. That's giving
that's
like
proper-
gymnastics routine.
But it's like, as I've discussed at some great length before, I'm not sexy, so the floor work is cringing.
no.
I'm leaning into the cringe.
I think it's going to be great. So do you have to, like, it's like a routine you have to make to do it?
Yes, so I'm starting off with like a Stevie Nicks kind of vibe.
Lovely.
Like,
Right,
I'm starting off
okay.
with some Stevie Nicks, and then we transfer into, it's a little kind of joke on the old perimenopause. And so then we transfer into Hot to Go.
Lovely.
And yeah,
This
so
is
when we
nice.
transfer into that, there's a little bit of
shimmy,
on the
shimmy.
floor, rolling on the floor, a little bit of ass smack.
Oh my God.
roll
That sounds
back.
amazing.
She's naughty.
So yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
That sounds amazing.
Dan
That's
Dan,
fun.
friend of the pod, ex-guest that we've had on, is put me through my paces.
Right, okay.
And he's like that. He's leaning into the funny, because whenever I try and be sexy, it is funny.
Listen,
just-
lean into what you're good at.
Do you have to be quite flexible to do all that sort of stuff? Like, is it...
The pole dancing.
Yeah.
You've got to have your core. Your core.
Oh God, I'd
It's
be fucked.
really good. I used to do it like years ago. I think I did it when I was like 16, much to my father's dismay. Like he would drive me to pole and be like, I'm really not happy about this. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, Dad, like I'm 16, I'm wearing like an angel bra from Tammy and like plimsolls. Sorry.
Tammy, pour
Do you know
one
what
out
it
for that. The legend that was Tammy.
R.I.P. But yeah, no, it's good, but it's hard work. Like I found after the first class, because you're gripping the pole with your inner thighs
your
so
thighs.
hard. Bruised for days. My
it?
dad
Yeah.
was like, "What have you been up to?" Afterwards, it's just brutal.
But you do get used to it. So when I first started pole, the inside of my thighs used to be black and blue, and now they're like
Callousy.
now they're callousy.
Calloused and tough.
Rough and ready for
It's
this
fine.
pole.
It's just my knees are all full of bruises.
This sounds brutal.
I know,
But
but
it's,
I also
it's so
don't-
good though. It's great.
I don't use the big heels either that give you another. So, because when I see people dancing with the giant big heels
Yeah, I
on,
don't know how to do that.
with the huge stiletto toes, I mean,
Uh-huh.
I'd take an eye out. I can't be trusted with that sort of.
Well,
That's
Kim-
a weapon. I'm from Greenock. That's a weapon.
But can you imagine landing on that badly? Game over.
I mean-
goodbye to your pole career. Do you know what I mean?
I've never done any really sort of dancing. I think I did ballet till I was about 6, and the teacher was like to my mum, I don't think this is for her. At 6. I'm not very graceful.
Were you one of the ones that was like standing in the background always? Because I used to teach ballet years and years ago, to teach dance a little bit, and there was always one Wayne that was like finger up my nose,
Paddy Beret facing
just
the wrong way.
slamming their foot down, waving to their mum with their other free non-snot hand.
I was just not having a good time with it. I couldn't really get the rhythm of it. I was not very graceful. You know, you'd like go and like jump over the wee scarf and everyone would be like that. And I'm like, stop.
My
That's
ballet
it.
teacher when I was 5 said that I had all the grace of a fairy elephant.
You're like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a compliment or
Yeah,
not.
I don't
It's
think it was.
most certainly
Fairy
cute,
elephant.
you know? I did ballet because I did musical theatre like in college, and I was not a big fan of ballet either. I mean, standing in front of a mirror like in pink ballet tights every single day, Monday to Friday, is pretty grim.
On the bar.
Yeah,
Oh
with
my
like
God.
loads of tiny girls, and that's just when I was getting into the gym, so I had these big beefy legs. Like, let's go, ladies. Had a good
But big beefy legs, good for a pole.
Exactly, because that's popular
Indeed.
now. People do like bar and stuff for like just general fitness. Because I
Yeah.
remember I used to work at a fitness company and they did this bar class, and I went
Uh-huh.
along to one, and I was like, I'm never fucking doing that again.
I'd be looking for a vodka. Like, well, not actually, because I'm allergic to vodka.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah,
looking
I'm
for a
Margaret.
gin.
Are you allergic to vodka?
I am, yeah. The
I don't wanna know how
fermentation
you
process.
figured that
I
out.
found out at the age of 13. It was grim.
Yikes. Dare I ask what the result of that night was?
Oh, vomit.
But I wonder if you were just like, oh, I've drunk too much, I'll
No,
do
no,
that
I'm
again.
allergic to
Or
it.
it was like,
Yeah, no, I have. It makes my lips swell up now and again.
dear.
Oh.
Now and again, I'll accidentally pick. If you're not so much now, but if
You're no mind sweeping these days.
no mind sweeping these days, but if you scull a wee accidental. But normally I can
Oh,
smell it now.
yikes.
No, people always go vodka doesn't have a smell, but it does
it
if
does.
you're not
It does.
supposed to drink it.
Yeah.
If you're not used to it, you're like that.
it
Wait a
smells
minute.
a bit like paint stripper, like
Yeah,
when it's
it's-
just, straight
disgusting.
spogging.
Although this is Scotland, so it could have been paint.
Yeah.
Like.
Know your audience, you know.
What's your favourite place to go when you're cruising?
That's a very, very good question. People ask that a lot, and actually, I quite like doing the Med, to be honest,
Yeah.
because there's so much variety. Do you know what I mean? If you go over France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, like there's different culture everywhere you go. Whereas if you're over in the Caribbean, like it's just rum and drums, like every day, and the beach. Which, to be fair, you can't complain about that either, because it's really nice. But I just think the Med's nice because there's so much variety. Do you know what I mean?
Good
Everywhere
food
you go.
as well.
And excellent food.
Yeah. I'm going to Italy on Sunday. I'm very excited.
Are you?
Oh, is that where you're going?
Yeah, that's
I
where
know
I'm
you
off
sent me
to.
a little, because you're just back from New York.
I know.
You're bloody jet setting this one.
Yeah,
I
I was such a jet setter. It was kind of a last minute holiday. I'm going with my mum and my sister, and we decided, just because my sister lives on a farm, so we can only go with like in the farming calendar, and I had stuff on, so we're like, right, we'll just have to go.
Is this not lambing time?
No, April. That's where we have
Yeah,
to
I
go
was
now.
going to
That's why you have to
say.
go
Go now.
now.
She's not getting a day off when the lambs are
Absolutely
lambing.
not.
Yay.
So we're going. So yeah, we're going to Sorrento, so Amalfi Coast
Oh,
and all
that's
that.
That's
so,
a
Nice. I love
spot.
Sorrento. It's
Oh, have you-
beautiful.
yeah.
Good
I've
seafood.
not been
Very
before,
nice.
so-
Amalfi Coast is lovely. Positano.
Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I haven't been there before, so I'm very excited. The weather's not meant to be great, but it's fine. It'll be better than here.
Better than here.
I'd rather be cold in Italy than cold in Edinburgh. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
And you were in New York as well?
I was in New York as well. I was there the weekend of the Oscars and the complete breakdown of international relations. So that was
It was all your fault.
it was all my fault. It was a very interesting time to be in New York. But yeah, it was great. We got quite cheap flights, went over for a holiday for a long weekend, and
That's
it was
so
lovely.
nice.
Yeah, we had a great time. I'd been when I was like 15, so it was nice to go back and kind of see it again. And my husband, it was his first time in America. I'd never been before. So we had a lovely time. It was good. We saw the Moulin Rouge.
That's
that was,
nice.
That was
Very
really
nice.
good. So I was like, right, we're going to go and see a Broadway show. What's on? Right, and too expensive. Moulin Rouge, great. We'll go and see that on Broadway. Like, we won't get to see it here. Come back, big
It's on at the
billboard.
Playhouse.
Moulin Rouge, come to the Playhouse in April. I was
But
like,
it
oh,
won't be the same cast.
I hope not. No, I don't think
this
so.
will be the European cast.
Yeah, and we saw it
Yeah.
at like the Moulin Rouge home in Broadway, and it's the
Yeah,
one
come
that they
on.
use all the time. So that was good. Though my God, the drinks are so expensive in New York in general. Like we went to Moulin Rouge and we're like, we get a wee wine, $20 for a 125ml wine. $10 for a soft drink. So it's good. We sat and we were thirsty. I was like, I'm not
Oh,
paying
But
that.
that's
for
not
that.
as bad as Iceland.
It's so expensive.
That Iceland is the most expensive place I've
Is
bought
it?
a drink. Yeah.
Is it really, really?
I bought a
How
drink.
much was it for?
Well, I bought a glass of wine and an open sandwich, which, by the way, is code for salad in Iceland. There was no bread.
What?
There was no bread.
How can they call it a
I
sandwich
arrived
then?
and I was like, "What is this?" They're like, "That's your open sandwich." Didn't say it like that, but I'm not going to offend Icelandics. That's your open sandwich, and I was like, "Where's the bread? Where's the carbs, mate?"
You can't call it a sandwich.
But
with no
apparently,
good bread.
that's an open sandwich is a salad in Iceland.
That's
You
that's
need to-
nonsense.
Yeah, look at yourself.
You need to sort yourself out,
it
Iceland.
And a glass of wine, and it was 46 quid.
Oh my
That's
God.
Something like that,
rough.
£46.
Oh,
It was
that's
me.
crazy.
We were there on a tour with comics. It was Scotch on Ice Festival.
Nice.
Scotch comics with Icelandic comics. See what they did there. It was very
That's
good.
good.
And all the Scots comics went out when we arrived for lunch, and then we didn't go out and eat again.
You're like,
We
Yeah,
ate
you're like,
noodles
we're going
in
to
the
Lidl's
hotel.
from now on.
Well, actually, Liam Withnail and I went and had the classic soup in a bread bowl.
oh right.
We had that.
Yeah.
So they put bread in their soup, but no
Put
bread in their
bread in their
sandwiches.
soup. Yeah, they don't have bowls. You eat out of a bowl of bread and then you eat
You
the
just
bread.
gnaw your way through it once
Yeah,
you
it's
finish
ve-
the soup.
Yeah, and
I've done
it's
that
very
before.
sloppy,
It's great.
but it's good. It was very tasty. I would have your soupy bread again, but
But not
don't know
your-
why I'm like saying this directly to the camera
Yeah.
as if
Yeah.
Iceland
Be
is
if you're
watching.
watching.
But I tell you what, Iceland very good for women. They come up top on all the feminist tick
Oh,
points.
that's good.
Oh,
They're
really?
like 50-50 CEOs, all that sort of stuff. They've got the most statues of women in any country in the world.
Oh,
Yes, I
that's
think
strong,
like
independent women.
Edinburgh has one woman. Edinburgh has some like 282 statues, and one of them is a woman.
Who,
my
and isn't that
God.
bad? 'Cause I don't
Oh
even
my
know
God.
who it is. Who
No.
is it?
Elizabeth somebody or I'd be telling a lie. I don't
Wow.
want to say because I'll get it absolutely wrong, but I think
Yeah.
I think it's somebody who discovered something, some sort of doctor.
There's one
woman.
of us and we don't
Just
even
one.
know who it is.
I've actually read that there's more statues of dogs in Edinburgh than women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But to be fair, good boys.
I mean,
you know
great
what I mean?
boys.
Good boys deserve
And
statues.
not bitches.
yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah. So the Med for you, then you're off to the Med. Well
Yeah.
done.
I'm really very
I feel
excited.
very dull. I'm just sitting here counting down the days to the Glasgow Comedy
I know you're
Festival.
only at Glasgow having a great
Yeah,
time.
I know.
I'm away to Glasgow this evening as well. So
Oh,
the Glasgow
yeah.
Comedy Festival kicked off big style on Wednesday.
Lovely.
And that's us now for the
When
next
is your
3
show
weeks.
coming
My
up?
show is next Saturday.
Lovely.
So yeah, it's all good. Your show's tomorrow.
My
How
show
you
is
feeling?
tomorrow. Fine, good, I think. Well, ask me tomorrow. No, it was good. I was at Monkey Barrel. I was here last night at New Material Nights. I ran a bunch of new stuff.
Good.
Some was good, some was not good. But that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
So yeah, I think it's just work in progress. We're just trying to work some stuff out for the
We're
fringe.
just
So
writing it out. And
yeah.
you're doing a work in progress on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. So I'm going to try some new songs that have like spoof songs.
Oh.
Great.
So
Have you
let's
written these
see.
songs?
Yes.
Oh.
There's one that I'm like, this is cute. There's another one that I'm like, this could go horribly wrong because it's quite rude. So, but let's
I think
see.
you'd be fine with Rude in Glasgow. It's
Yeah.
not a cruise
Yeah.
ship.
You'll be fine.
Aye. I'll be all right. Well, let's see.
Right, well, Erin, we've brought you here today for
Yes.
Joy Jane podcast. We're going to ask you the question. Erin,
Tell me.
well, you look terrified. It's okay. You know
No,
what's
go for
coming.
it. No,
I emailed you about
I'm,
this.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Hit
Erin,
me.
tell us what brings you joy.
Right, okay, so I had to think about this. Isn't this awful that I sat down like, right, what brings me joy? And you would think that something would come to your mind straight away. I was like, this is horrific that I have to really think about it. And the first things that came to my mind were like an early night, tidying up, and a good hot meal. And I was like, this is a woman that's
Wow.
turning 30 in summer. Like,
That's- I mean, to be fair, that's given middle age energy. That's
really
more
is.
turning
Horrific.
40 energy.
yeah, as soon as I said it, I was like, shut your whore mouth and think again. Like,
An early night. Wow. I mean, for me,
Early.
an early night sounds like bliss.
yeah, we love it. That
Early
one we
night.
can accept. But like, I was like, go
And
away
how
and think
early
about
is an
it.
early night for you?
Do you know when I went over to Australia, I was so jet lagged, I started going to bed at 9 o'clock and I was like, this is the dream. I was like, when I go home, I must continue this. But obviously, I did not. But no, what brings me joy, my first major one, I would say, and probably a lot of people have said this already in the podcast, is animals.
Right.
I have to say it, they bring me a lot of joy. I don't have any pets myself. So when I'm surrounded by other people's animals, I cherish that time.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, when I was in Australia, I was like, this is the best Airbnb I've ever stayed in. Because the woman had a miniature dachshund that was the neediest dog I've ever met. She had a ragdoll cat and she had a parrot in the back garden.
Wow.
And the only reason I knew that she had this parrot in the back garden is because one day I started hearing voices when I was in the caravan.
She's not uncommon for comics.
But I was like, please
You're like,
don't
this
say
is the
these
start
are
of it,
inside
the
my
downward
head.
spiral.
Like, yeah. I was like, can anyone else hear this voice? So I followed it and I found this parrot like in a cage in the back garden.
What was
And-
it saying?
Well, I discovered it knew two phrases, right? So obviously the first one, pretty obvious one, I came out and it was like that, hello.
Right.
So I was like very polite young man. Great. Very British of me. I was like, I'm fine, thanks. How are you? No reply. So like was just chatting to the parrot for a while and then having
Not
a
a
nice
breakdown
time.
at all.
No,
No, she's fine.
And then I was leaving the garden. I discovered what his second phrase was, and I'm not even joking. I turned around to walk back
goodbye?
into the house. It was much better than goodbye. I turned my back and I was walking back into the house, and it went, "Oh, fuck off!"
That's,
And I was like, this is the most Australian birds I've ever come across. But I was like, it's obviously been listening to kids outside, like playing, and it's just picked up the signature phrase.
That's great.
And it was
Hello,
just
fuck
it was
off.
brilliant. But yeah, I love animals so much. Like I went over to Australia. I spent loads of money on a flight and went over for the comedy festival, and I spent pretty much my entire time with this miniature dachshund. I was walking it every morning. Like I was walking it at night. The host was literally like, "Knock yourself out with my dog. Go on."
So
But-
what's your? So you don't have any pets, but what would you like to get? Do you like dogs, cats? What's going to be your pet of preference?
Controversial, but I am a bit of a cat woman myself. Wouldn't say I'm a crazy cat woman just yet, but give me time.
Yeah. You wait to
but-
get those early nights and the hot meals and the six cats.
Then we'll get there eventually.
All part of the plan.
But yeah, I'm a big cat person. I like because I grew up with cats. But I think as I'm getting older, I'm like, oof, I want a good boy. I want a dog that will love me unconditionally. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because cats don't care if you live or die. As somebody who has 2 cats,
Do they just don't give a shit, do they?
they don't care. They're like, "You're here again."
Really?
Whereas dogs are like, "Hey, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's you." I love like that dogs greet you as if they were never expecting you to come back.
Yeah,
like,
they're-
"Oh my god."
Absolutely buzzing. It's like they've like momentarily forgotten who you are. Then they're like, "Oh, it's you again." So yeah.
Oh,
love
that's
it.
nice. Yeah.
That's my top one that brings me joy. Second one, an obvious one again, food.
food. That
Yeah, it's a biggie because I just feel like it's so. My favorite thing about it is because it's so unifying. And like at the moment, because I'm in a shared flat, I've just moved to London and moved in with these 2 girls. When the kettle clicks, I'm like, right, snack time. I love it so much. I come through to the kitchen and when the kettle goes off as well, I know that there's going to be like a sit down chat and there's going to be some gossip. So I come through and I'm always like straight in the cupboard, like, right, who's wanting a sweet treat? Who's wanting one? It's just like, you know what I mean? It's unifying.
yeah. Are
That's
you
my
more
favourite
sweet or
thing about it.
savoury?
Got a really bad sweet tooth, to be honest.
Same.
Got a bad sweet tooth.
I'm more crisp. Girl.
Are you?
Yes.
I can take or leave crisps.
No, I would
Really?
take all your crisps.
I'll give you all my crisps.
Yeah, I'd eat all the crisps.
What flavour? What's your?
Any flavour.
It doesn't matter.
I like all crisps. I'm very partial to salt and vinegar. That's my top flavour. But at the minute, and this is like my old lady vibes.
Where
because
there's originals flavoured.
I can't afford the real stuff. But there's these very fancy crisps that are truffle flavoured.
Oh, how very
that's a
bougie
wee
of
bit
you.
too honking stonking
no,
for me,
they're
I
so
think.
good.
Oh,
They're
truffle
so
crisps.
good. Truffle crisps.
Oh, no.
I will sit and eat all of them.
A little truffle
They're
bag.
like £6 a bag. And I'm like, bring it on. You can get them from the wine shop just up the road.
Oh,
and
she's very
That's
bougie.
That's
I'm
bougie.
like,
We love
yeah,
that.
if I've got a night off, a rare time that I have a night off, glass of wine, truffle crisps.
£6 crisps, living your
£6
best life.
crisps. Although when I was pregnant, I really got addicted to discos, salt and vinegar discos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
my little boy is obsessed with salt and vinegar crisps, and I feel very much like literally. I used to do things like when I was pregnant, I'd finish a gig and I'd go to the newsagents across from like wherever the gig was. I would buy like 3 bags of discos. I would like scull 2 in the car and then bring 1 into the house. And
hiding your crisp habit.
just my crisp habit.
Covered in disco crumbs.
Just discos all over our fingers.
What have you been up to?
Honking a salt and vinegar discos.
At least
like,
we're not honking a truffle.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
that was before I'd realised. I probably couldn't have had truffle crisps when I was pregnant. That's probably one of the things you're not allowed.
Too pungent.
Probably, yeah. But
Like,
My
but yeah.
favourite question of all to ask someone is if you're going into a petrol station and you have to get a meal deal, like rapid, no time, and you got to decide crisps, sweet snack, like a chocolate bar, and a drink, what are you going for?
oh, so what? Crisps, sweet snack, and a drink. Did you say
Yeah, but this is a pressure question because there's no time.
Okay,
Like the
okay.
petrol station, you got to hurry up.
drink? probably like a Diet Coke, and then chocolate bar, Kinder Bueno, crisps, probably like what's it?
That's a nice. Yep.
Yeah, that's my thing.
What's it?
Yeah, like a wee cheesy
Tell
puff.
me about a little cheesy puff. Little orange, like
I don't eat a lot of crisps, but when I do, I like
what
to
you
be
go for.
covered
Cheesy
in them.
what's it?
Yeah.
mine would be anything salt and vinegar based, crisp wise, not fussy, but if they've got discos, obviously discos. I'm not going to take a sweet treat. I'll get apple. Like I
No
don't.
sweet
I'm
treat?
not a fan of chocolate. I'm not. I mean, I'll eat it if it's there. Like if somebody offers me a chocolate. If I am going to buy myself chocolate, I buy those little, those seashells that taste like Nutella.
Yes.
Gillian. So she's got very fancy taste. I'm really
I
like
like
to try
that.
crisps
I
and
like
Gillian
them.
chocolate.
I like them and water because hydration. It's
Yes.
in your 40s, hydration.
Health as well.
What about you,
ladies.
Erin? What are you going for?
I'm going for every single time Thai sweet chili sensations.
They're too spicy for me.
Nah, that's weak. That's weak chat. That's pussy chat. Thai sweet chili sensations. Sweet treat would be a Malteser bunny or reindeer, depending on the season.
Right, okay.
And water because health is wealth.
Yeah.
Right, oh God.
Fizzier still.
Yeah. Still every time. I've got a big thing against sparkling water.
I think you fall into one or two camps. I'm a
Yeah.
fizzy gal.
I
think
hate
you
the taste
can
of fizzy
turn.
water.
You can turn at some
You
point,
think?
but
You got to push through it.
yeah, I feel like you got to push through the disgust of it at first.
What I
to
quite
really...
enjoy is when you're in the comedy club, there's always sparkling water because the sparkly girls are very few and far between.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'm having
Like,
all of that.
I was
thank
quite
you.
good because they'd be like, oh, there's no water, and out in the fridge and there's like 5 green sparkly bottles, and I'm like, yeah,
That'll be
good
me.
for
Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
just stock up. I'll just take all of them.
So your food. So do you cook?
I do like to cook quite a lot.
What sort of things you cooking?
Really into shakshuka at the moment.
okay.
Yeah, with the old baked
shakshuka,
eggs.
yeah,
Too
like
spicy
that.
for you.
Yeah,
would
you,
probably,
you
but-
couldn't deal with shakshuka.
No,
Sometimes
not
too much
too weak
milk
for
for a
shakshuka.
I know she's very Scottish.
You'd have to have like a korma
That's-
shakshuka.
I like a wee shakshuka. If people are
Very
cooks,
nice.
it's just as well I know this now because quite often if I'm having people over for brunch, wee shakshuka.
See, there you
Okay,
go.
well, good.
I just feel
I'll just
like
have the eggs.
eggs are just the greatest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eggs are unifying as well.
I find
Eggs,
it
everyone
difficult
comes
unless
together
you're
over eggs,
vegan,
you know what I mean?
Unless you're a vegan,
Unless
I
you
can't
are a
be dealing
vegan.
with them, or people who just don't like eggs. Daniel Sloss doesn't like eggs. He's got a real thing against eggs, and I find that difficult.
Eggs are delicious.
Like I can get it to a certain.
But it's
you
like
know
a
what I mean,
staple,
point.
though. You're just
Yeah.
like my cousin Wendy. She doesn't like eggs. I lived with her growing up, and yeah, I just find it because you get nothing in the fridge. There's always eggs,
Always eggs.
omelette, scrambled
See
eggs,
what I mean?
fried eggs, poached eggs.
Yep.
Do you
If
know,
I go-
pancakes.
Yeah,
always stuff.
I feel like if I go anywhere, I've got a hard boiled egg in my bag, just for an emergency. Do you
That's
know what
a
I mean?
lot.
Yeah.
Listen, just
We need
for
to talk to you about that, Erin. We've been getting complaints of this.
It's
milk.
only bad if you forget about it, and then it's a nightmare. But just for a wee snack on the go. Do you know what I mean?
Peeling an egg.
Just sitting on the train, you just hear like a against the window.
Oh
and just
my
start
God.
peeling your... I'm the worst though, because I
You
always
can't
bring...
do that in a train,
No.
Erin.
Nah, hold my hands up. I always bring stinky food on the train.
Oh,
I am
you're
that
one of
guy.
those people.
We're talking mackerel, broccoli, eggs.
Mackerel.
What?
I once did it on a plane. I'm not proud of
Oh,
myself.
no.
I'm not proud. But
The worst thing I've
How
done.
did you get that through security?
ladies got a lunch. Do you know what I mean?
No. The worst thing I've done on a train was I painted my nails once, and a woman was raging.
Was she? I do that all the time.
Yeah, no,
I
she was
would-
unhappy.
Was she just like, excuse
I
me?
don't think
she
I
was
would
like-
like that.
Toxic
Yeah,
fumes.
yeah, she was like, that makes me feel sick.
For
And I
God's
was like,
sake.
well, no.
I get that. I prefer if you had mackerel and eggs over nail
Over
varnish.
nail
I think.
varnish.
Yeah.
No.
But I think painting your nails on the train is, do you know what I mean? I'm a busy lady.
Same. I'll do it on the way to gigs. Sometimes you just got to top up. Yeah. And you just, I think that's absolutely fine. Screw everybody else. At least it's not
good. So
mackerel.
that's it. So we've got food. We've got your early nights.
No,
we've got your
don't
family.
publish that. It makes me
Not your
look like a
family.
loser.
Your animals.
food.
Animals food. Another food related one. Love a bakery, man. Just simple joys in life. I like a good bakery. Mm-hmm. I like
An
a
Edinburgh
good.
bakery, though, you've got to take your wallet.
Of
Yeah.
course you do.
My God,
course you do.
£12 for a loaf I paid recently.
£12.
£12.
Bougie queen.
No, I didn't know that it was going to be £12. I went up and there was people behind me, and I was like, well, I guess we're buying a £12 loaf.
Yeah, because you can't exactly be like, I didn't
Can't be
know.
like,
Could you just?
what the fuck are you talking about?
Was it at least
£12?
a wee sourdough or something fancy?
It was a fancy, like I had vegan friends coming over.
Right.
So there was not going to be any eggs.
No eggs.
and
Sorry to hear
clay.
that.
I know, thanks. And so I thought, right, I'm going to get some nice, I'd made soup, I'd made a nice salad. I was like, I'll get some nice bread. 12 triangles. Just need to have a look at yourselves.
Oh, they're my favourite though. They do very nice coffee in there.
The coffee's great, but it's expensive.
But you'd only get one once a month, you know? All right,
Yeah.
clean you out.
But that's fine. Your friends come over, you just give them the salad, and you go, "This is an open sandwich."
Yeah. There you go.
There's no
I
bread.
can't afford
We've
the
got no
bread.
bread.
Cost of living crisis.
No, I did that proper Scottish thing of telling the story while serving the bread. And at one point, my friend Stocks went, I've eaten so much bread and I can't eat any more. And I know it was £12, but I was like, oh no, you don't need to finish it. It's fine. It was huge. It was huge amount of bread. So
Yeah, bakeries
I cut it up
are
and
good.
froze the rest of it. So I'm like,
Keep it
this-
for a special occasion.
keeping it
Yeah,
for good.
dude, I would.
Shove it
Get
in
it in the
toaster.
freezer.
The guy actually said to me, I says, no wonder you're giving me tips on how to keep this bread fresh because you've got a red neck. £12. £12.
I mean, £12 is obscene.
Yeah.
For a loaf, isn't it?
I love a wee
For loaf.
European bakery.
I do
The-
as well.
yeah, 'cause
you're
they're
gonna
nice
have
and
a nice
cheap.
time in Sorrento with the
Yeah.
bakeries. Let me tell you.
yeah.
Yeah.
With the
Wee
patisseries, and the
twisty chocolate thingies.
nothing
Yeah.
beats a coffee in Italy. To be fair, it's like the
Coffee's
land of
very
it. Do you know
good.
what I mean?
And the
It's
wine
very,
and the
very
pasta.
nice.
I'm very excited. It's going to be great.
It's nice.
You're
And
gonna
just
be-
with the girls as well.
Yeah, just for the gals.
You're going to be practicing a little bit of Italiano.
No. Ciao.
That's
Bella.
Ciao, Bella. Last time I was in Italy, we hired a car, and it's very difficult to drive in Italy because people are crazy, and we got a lot of this from the drivers
Yeah,
that
of
were
course.
a lot of hand signals. So the Italians are very nice until you don't speed up when they want you to speed up on the road.
And they've got those like I spent 2 weeks in Ravello in Italy once, which is it's above Amalfi town, and it's one of those things like, you know, sometimes you watch those reels and it'll be like showing you the sides of buses falling down cliffs and all that sort of thing. Like it was like one of those.
Oh my God.
And I'd hired a car and went to go up the first time and abandoned it halfway up and just went, nah.
What, just left it the side of the
Just
road?
left it, phoned them, told them to come and get it, and then just got the bus up and down.
You're joking.
No, I was like, I can't.
And were they just like, yeah, that's fine,
Yeah,
we'll come
no,
and pick it
apparently
up?
it's not the first time that's happened.
At what point were you like, I can't do this?
I got about three quarters of the way up and realised there was like more to go, and I just was like, and then I just couldn't. It was like, because you're on that side, so you're coming down, and I was like actually getting, and the person I was with didn't drive. I was actually getting the oh no right, and like so I pulled over. And so then you're like right on the edge of the cliff, and I pulled over and stopped the car, and I was like doing the deep breathing.
Oh my God.
And I'm not good with heights anyway.
fuck's
And
sake.
I just was like, I literally feel like I'm gonna go over the edge. So I couldn't get back in the car. I was just shaking so much.
Mentally and physically.
And the guy that I was with was just like, oh, just fucking.
Well, just, and then
So we just like stood there, phoned the bit, and they were like, yeah, that's fine. Just like leave the car, leave the keys in it, and we'll come get it.
oh my God. And then you had to wait and get the bus down.
Then I stopped right across from my bus stop. So then we just.
Did you
got the bus up.
feel any embarrassment at all about leaving the car? Were you
No,
just like,
literally
thank
couldn't
fuck I'm
give
out
two
of that
shits.
situation?
Literally just went, nah.
Just
Yeah.
left the keys there,
Left
ciao
the keys,
bello,
bye.
and you were
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Better
Not
here
doing
than
that.
down the bottom of that cliff. So you
Yeah,
can
and then
come
we
and
got
get
up there and
it.
realised there was nowhere to park because it's like you can't actually drive into Ravello. It's like there's like a bit, yeah, so you have to like find somewhere to park outside. So I was just like, actually, this has worked out grand, and it meant that I didn't have to not drink.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, there you
Actually,
go.
brilliant
It was
strategy.
great
It's a
strategy
win-win.
in the end. Yeah, it was great, and there was a
Good.
wee bus went up and down every day anyway. So it
Lovely.
was grand.
Well, listen, we are hiring a car at some point in Italy, so that's a tip that I'll keep in mind. I might
Get
just
it
leave
done.
leave it in the middle of the Amalfi Coast. Can't be fucked. Come and get it.
just let them
I've,
know.
I've got this on good authority that you do that. So can you come and pick this car up? Because I
Just
want a
phone and
wine.
say, I'm scared.
I'm so scared. It's
was-
great.
Yeah,
I will not be driving. My sister will be driving. So
I think I met your sister.
did you?
Yeah, she came to Bonafide.
She did. Oh, did you speak to her?
Yeah, I did. She
she
came and introduced herself to me.
Did she?
And but there was quite a lot of people I knew that night, so I felt quite kind of, you know, sometimes when there's a lot of people that you know at a gig and you get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hello. So I was like, hi, oh my goodness, blah blah blah. And then I was like, oh, and then somebody else came over, and then I was like, bye.
That's right. Yeah, she said because she was looking for a comedy night, and I was like going to Bonafide, and she's like, okay, so that's
It
good.
was a good night she came to.
She said it was a very fun time actually. Had a lovely
fun
time.
one.
Yeah,
It was all good.
yeah. So
Yay.
oh, good. So that's what's so travel, animals.
Aye, what else have we got? Baked goods.
That's a good selection.
Yeah. I feel like people say a lot of sentimental stuff in the podcast. Like, oh, there's
We've really
something-
had all
a
sorts.
memory that really, and I'm just literally like a good hot meal.
I like that.
Like
I think we
simple joys you
Yeah.
can.
we can go on to like the,
Oh yes.
This is Jay's Joy's Killers. That's me.
This is cute.
I don't know what I'm doing. It's a very old photo.
I literally was like, is that Sabrina Carpenter?
No,
That
it's
does
me.
not look like you.
It's me. It's me. But I mean,
cute
I am
picture.
like 33 in it or something, so it's quite a while ago. Yes, Jay's Joy Killers. This is part of the pod
Yes.
that we ask you, what is killing your joy?
Looking forward to this bit because we love a moan. It's like, what brings you joy? Forget about that. We love a moan.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is jobs worths on public transport, especially budget airlines that charge you like by the fart, like when you get to the gates. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not being funny, but I've experienced this one too many times. I've been shafted for this, and I will not learn because I refuse to bring like another bag. You know, they charge you like between it's like 30 quid or something. I mean, we're not talking much, but like. I love a challenge.
Yeah.
I'd rather try and get through without paying and
Yeah.
feel triumphant than pay for like another suitcase. And recently I was getting on a flight. She was jet setting. I was getting on a flight and I was going to Rhodes and it was a really, really late night flight, right? And I think I was leaving from Gatwick or something like that. There was 18 people on the flight. The plane was practically empty, right? Am I allowed to say what line it was? I can.
Yeah, of course you
One,
can.
yeah.
EasyJet, right? Hate them. And I got to the front and my bag was right. Admittedly, it was too big. It was too big. But I was like, do you know what? If it
just
comes
gaming
to
the system.
like I'm putting my clothes on, like every single garment is going on if you try and charge me. So I got to the gates and they were like, you'll have to measure that bag. And I was like, I was immediately upset because I was like, this does not happen to me. Normally I get through. So I was like, right, okay. And there was no way. Like, there was just that, you know what I mean? It was
They
a
can
joke.
tell by eyeballing it, they're like, that's
yeah.
never going in there.
I was like, they're literally like, is there a 16-year-old boy in your bag? Like, that's massive. So I knew it was just not happening. But everyone else had gone through, like everyone, all 18 people, right? So they were kind of waiting to go in the plane. So I had a full audience. And there was one woman that was like, they're not going to charge her, are they? It was hilarious. And so I started trying to rejig everything. I started putting clothes on. It was getting embarrassing, like how hard I was fighting for this. And there was about 6 EasyJet members, and they were like, "That listen, you'll have to pay the 50 quid." And I was like, "I'm not doing it." And they were like, you don't have a choice, like if you want to get on the flight. And I was like, guys, this is unreasonable. I was like, there's 18 people, there's overhead room for hundreds of folk. Just do a gal a favour and like let me through. I'm just trying to have a nice holiday. Do you know what I mean? Let me through. And they were straight up like, nah. And what I did, I'm so not proud of myself. I'm mortified to say it. But I was so angry, like I was so internally raging that I'd been charged. Because normally, like I'm just like, oh, I'll get away with it, no bother. So they charged me for it, and then I was going through. I beat my cards, and I was looking at the girl. She was just like staring at me,
Eyeballing her down.
yeah, eyeballing me, and she was like, "That'd be 50 pounds." And I was like, beeped it, and I was like, "Did that go through?" She was like, "Yeah," and I was getting angrier and angrier. And then when the payment went through, I was like, right, guys, well, I'm off. And I said, and I hope you all enjoy your jobs, you bunch of cunts. I don't know where it came from. It came from like the pit of my stomach. I don't even like the C word. And like, it's broad daylight. Just shouted it at 6 EasyJet members of staff. Because you would.
Imagine if they still did that show. Remember they used to do the show about
the airline show.
Airline show, and
You'd
it
be
was
on
always
that.
EasyJet. You'd be on that.
I was
Like,
as soon
you
as I
bunch
said
of
it. I
can't believe they still let you on.
I know.
They almost didn't, because there was like a collective gasp of like, and then I was like, I shat myself. So I was like, right, I started walking to the gate, but I went the wrong way out of panic. And then the girl literally charged me, was like that, she's gone the wrong way. And I was like, oh my gosh, the humiliation. And one guy chased me down and he was like that, you can't speak to us like that.
I think I just did.
And I was like, well, what are you going to do? Like, you can't stop even getting on the flight. And he was like, yes, I can actually. And I was like,
no.
oh, I'm sorry. I was like, I didn't mean it. I was just a bit angry. It was worse because I had to try and backtrack. And then he followed me all the way to the doors of the plane. And I was thinking in the last minute, he's going to put his hand on my shoulder and be like, no holiday in Greece for you, sweetheart. But he didn't. He let me go. But I sat on the
Probably
plane.
would be more hassle than it was worth writing the paperwork for keeping you off the plane.
But I was mortified though. Like,
I'm
I
shocked
was
at
like,
that from you, Erin.
yeah, I was sitting on the plane like, you don't deserve a holiday. Who are you speaking to people like that? And I phoned my mum and I was like, Mum, you won't believe what I've just done. I've just called 6 members of EasyJet staff a bunch of cunts. My mum went, good. I was
That's where she gets it.
yeah, I was like, I've made my mother proud for the first time.
But you just think there's 18 people, like there's no others bags. You would think, come on, just let me through.
Well, they've
that.
got to make their money.
But I was like,
flight's
where's-
having to go with 18 people
That's
on
true.
it. They're looking to charge somebody something.
I was like that,
Yeah.
where's your compassion? None in EasyJet.
No compassion on EasyJet.
So that's
brutal.
like I'd say that's my biggest gripe. It's
Yes.
like transport folk who are jobs worse.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. But I like I get my comeuppance. Do you know what I mean? Because I try my best to get things for free because it's my favourite thing. Like I just love the adrenaline of it. Do you know what I mean? Until I was 21, I was getting child fares on the train. I was finishing like a degree at university, and I would get the train. I studied in Motherwell, and I used to get the train, and I used to put my helmet on. And I'd put my rucksack on. I'd try and make myself look as young as possible.
Oh my God. And then
And I got shafted for that one as well.
you got caught, and did they fine you?
Oh, big time. They didn't find me, but there was like a train conductor that was always on the morning service going to Motherwell. And he used to always see me, and he was always suspicious. He was just always sort of giving me the side eye, and I'd always be like, good morning. And then, morning, driver. And then there was one day where he came up to me and he took my ticket and he's like that, I'm needing to see your ID. And I was like that.
But you wouldn't have ID.
I was like that, what do you mean I don't have any? I'm 15. And I was like, I don't have my what was it called? The Young Scot card.
card.
Young Scot
card.
And I was like, I've ordered a new Young Scot card, but it's in the post. Like, absolute lying bitch. You know what I mean? But it was the adrenaline of it. It was the thrill of the ride. And then he's like, what's your date of birth? I had it all memorised. I had a completely alter ego memorised.
So you get ID'd on the train, like you're trying to get to a fucking nightclub.
It was
on the train to Motherwell.
But I had an answer for everything. He'd be like that, why are you not in your school uniform? And I'd be like, oh, it's casual clothes day. And he'd be like, why have you got your bike? And I might get said, take your bike to school day. Like, I had to
Also, you're like, why do I have to answer to you?
Exactly.
I used to, and then in the very, very last week of my degree, I bought an adult ticket for the final week because I was like, I owe it to this guy. Do you know what I mean? I owe it to him. I've gotten away with this for 3 years. Like, I've saved so much money. And then in the last week, he took my ticket, and then he was like, right, you are. And then I said, oh, and by the way, I've spoken to my mum about this, and she's really upset that you've harassed me regarding my age. Like, I made the guy feel so guilty.
You stuck the
And
knife
he's
in.
like that. He's like, sorry, it's just that you don't look 15. You know what I mean? I was like, well, I am. Like, what a horrible wee cow. But I was just like, I love the thrill of it.
She loves
And I was
the
like, there's going to
thrill.
be a day where I'm going to be out in a bar in Glasgow or something, and he'll be there with his friends, and he'll be, oh, I fucking knew it. He'll just see me there. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
What is it
But-
like? What do you like getting for free?
What do I like getting for free? I mean, obviously you don't do it very often, but you got the Smart Shop scan in Sainsbury's. Sometimes I maybe forget to scan
Get
a
that
wee.
wee 5-finger bargainer.
Just sometimes. You know what it is, right? The only time I do it is with like onions and peppers, because I can't be bothered.
Nah, that's just
put
the
them on
start,
the weigh machine and then printing off the ticket. I never ever do it with anything that's over like £1, right? I like onion 44p or whatever. Right? But that's
You've got your own ethics code.
I do. That's my ethics
Very
code.
different to my ethics
Well,
code.
I know people that listen to this podcast that shall remain nameless, that steal like chicken breasts and
Mate.
like.
I love a good shop.
Is this you?
I love it, man. Onions and peppers are just the gateway. Do you know what I mean?
Am I going to start
You're
getting
going
the
to
big
start
ticket?
sliding down.
Oh,
That's
really?
You
it.
start in onions and peppers, and then you go to salmon fillets. Do you know what I mean? That's been me.
My God.
Not even reduced either. Full price.
I just
let's
get
go.
too much anxiety when I go and there's no more scan it. Then goes, look, check your shop, and I'm like, oh my God, like.
But then you just
You need
have
to put
to
them
be
all
like,
down at the bottom.
That's what I've been told
Yeah.
by the sticky finger people in my life, to put it at the bottom of the
Bottom
thing.
of the
They only
box.
scan the top 5 things. They put all the expensive stuff at the bottom.
they come and question you, just like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm 15. I'm going to my young Scot card.
I don't. My mum says don't harass me.
Don't harass me, my mum will be on the phone.
What
Right,
you get for free?
Oh, what do I like getting for free?
I mean, there's a line between getting for free and stealing.
I
quite
cross that line too
often
much.
out a car park for free.
Okay.
I quite like getting out a car park for free.
That's a
Right.
tough
How
one.
do you do that?
So what happened to me legitimately once was that I put my card, so you get the little ticket, you put the little ticket in order to pay, to find out how much you owe, and the machine ate my little ticket. And I was like, oh. So like I pushed the helper button and the wee man, wherever he was, in whatever office somewhere down south, I'm assuming, came on and he was like, hello. And I was like, oh, the machine ate my ticket. And he went, all right, no worries. Just press the buzzer when you're going out and tell me again.
And you're like, well, hang
Now
on a
I've
minute.
done that about 6 times.
I love that.
You're like,
That's
this
really,
works.
really good.
But yeah, you have to kind of. You can't do it in the same car
Gotta
park
spread it about.
consistently. You've got to spread that shit around.
Yeah, you gotta.
So
otherwise
I
I
quite
get
like a wee free
suspicious.
car parking.
That's good.
I'm surprised I didn't mention getting things for free is like my top thing that gives me joy.
I sounds
'Cause,
like
It is. It's
like
quite a little
actually,
joyful
like
thing.
looking back, most joyful thing
Yeah.
that you can do getting things
Sticking
for
it to
free.
authority and getting things for free.
I found another loophole as well to get things for free, just to share the goss. See in Pret, I think they have something that's like a goodwill offering or like a gesture of kindness. Because every time I've gone to Edinburgh Airport, it happened twice in a row. I would go up and then I'd just be really friendly, like, oh, how you doing this morning, whatever, and have a bit of chat with them. And then they would offer me a sweet treat for free. So I was like, stop it right now. So now every time I go to Pret, I'm always overly friendly to the point where it's now a bit too far. And they're like, can I get you anything else? And I'm like, oh, well, I was thinking about a wee chocolate cookie, but I thought, oh, better be good today, And I'll say some bullshit for them to be like, oh, you can treat yourself. Here's a chocolate cookie. Then I'm always shocked by it, but I've had it planned all along, do you know?
Wow.
And I really
and then if you
mapped
don't-
myself out to be a horrible person on this
You're not
podcast.
coming across well, Erin.
No.
I'm not going to lie.
So then now,
publish any of
now,
this, man.
now if they don't give you a cookie, you go, know what? You guys are a bunch of cunts.
That's it next time.
And you're all go fuck yourselves.
I hope you enjoy your jobs in Pret.
Yeah.
Just before we go into our last little
Yes.
section, so we finish our last section off with Hannah's headlines.
Yes, it's me.
That is a gorgeous pick.
Looking very headline-ish, looking
Yeah.
very newsreader.
Yeah.
Newsreader
Yeah, that looks like an AI
early
shot.
noughties.
Thanks.
Early noughties newsreader, I think.
In a good way.
That's a fucking.
You know what I
She's
mean?
feeling the compliments. That looks something like you, Jay, and this looks AI.
You look like
You
Sabrina
look like
Carpenter.
an
You look
alien.
like AI.
You
Those
look,
are
you're
compliments.
dead behind the eyes, Erin, is what you're trying to say, and that's fine. That's
I
fine.
don't.
But
Last pod's Hannah's headlines.
yes,
We discussed the prankster, the Glasgow prankster.
yes, the prankster,
yeah,
the
yeah.
woman that stuck signs around a park run in Glasgow and sent everybody in different directions.
And
Now-
I'm just going to pop the little, because it's gone a bit pinging.
Pinging.
I'm not going to play this bit again, but just some of the comments
Yeah.
that we've had. So basically what happened, if you haven't listened to it, it was our podcast with Paul McDaniel.
Uh-huh.
There was a female prankster in Glasgow, and she basically put up signs all over the place on a park run, sending people the wrong way. And we had a wee bit of a laugh.
just a bit of a laugh, bit of a
A
joke.
little bit of feminist element to it, because she was a female
She was a
prankster.
woman.
Paul had a very funny line about the suffragettes.
Yeah.
And it's popped off, so it's sitting at like over 115k or something.
Yeah, I think
like
it's
that.
on 120k views, over 3,000 comments.
And some of the comments, I just
They're
first
hilarious.
of all, Hannah and I are wanting to put out an appeal. If you are said female
If
prankster,
is you, please get in touch.
get in touch with us here at Joy Agenda,
Yeah,
right?
we
Give
want-
us a little
absolutely.
DM on the socials.
We'd love to talk to you.
We would love love to talk to you. We'd love to have you on the pod.
We're fans.
We are huge
We
fans.
want you to come on and we can talk to you
like a
about this.
legend.
She sounds like an absolute
Like, let's be
legend.
honest.
Not everybody thinks you're a legend.
No,
this
50% of the troll comments
No,
do not
because this is
think-
also, it seems to have grabbed the attention of the running community. Now, there's lots of this woman's a hero, this lady's a genius.
look at
Lots
that.
There's
of
also
this.
a few that are very happy. I ran in a 5K where a man had a stroke. He was very fit and this was entirely unforeseen. So yeah, the organisers had a very valid point.
Obviously, we're not laughing at people having strokes.
Of course not.
No.
And people need the medical help.
But
we're-
none of that happened on this race.
so
okay?
we can't get angry
was
about
just-
some things that might have happened.
But it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
It was all fine. It was all fun.
I mean, other people think she's a genius, a hero has been used. The people who find this hilarious have never trained for anything in their lives.
That's my favourite comment.
I, by the way, have trained for like pole. I've trained.
Yes.
I myself have ran 10Ks. I
Yes.
did a colours run. I've done all sorts of like I did
Yes.
the colour bombing thing. Like I've done breast cancer awareness run.
Yes.
I've done lots of like over the years. So I have trained for things.
Yes.
And I still found it funny.
We still found it hilarious.
I mean, it is funny. Do you know what I mean? It's inventive. It's
Yeah.
creative. I think it's class.
Some people have totally got on our thing, like burned by the run. We've all been there. Like we want to know the origin story.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
We are
wanna
screwed
find
the
out who
people
she
who
is.
train for months to compete in this 10K or even just PB it. And I'm like, it's a 10K, mate.
It is a 10K. You know,
You
we're
could
not.
go and do another 10K that afternoon.
Listen, if she had done this to the London Marathon, you know,
Yes.
maybe it might have been a bit different. But
I
this was
just
a
wanna
park
know-
one in Glasgow.
I just want to know her thoughts behind
This
it. though.
is horrible.
This is
Just-
horrible.
What a statement.
This is
I
horrible.
would have had her head on a stake.
Would have had her head in a stake.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, also, we'll give a shout out if you've got a real view against this. Also, get in touch with us on the
interesting to know.
DMs, and it'd be good to get like
we
we
both
could-
sides of the argument.
both sides of the argument
Because we've not, you know, we've not had a real pop off like that, and in a while, and
Yeah.
we were not expecting it to capture the attention of both sides of the argument. So we just like to know.
We would. It's been a journey ourselves. We've gone in opposite directions, ironically. But not one to further anger the running community.
Yes, we are. We
Because
know.
we realise that yous are
You take it-
dedicated.
Yeah, and you take things very seriously.
That's
and,
true.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's laying low at the moment, or
I
if
think she
she's
might be
be.
laying low.
or if she's proud of her efforts. Do you know what I mean?
I think
'Cause,
she
mean,
must be.
Well,
proud
I
of it.
can't find her name anywhere, and she must be because it was female prankster. So we
Yes.
know enough that she
she's
was a
undercover
woman,
just now until the next marathon.
but nobody
Yeah.
has named this woman, and like we would love to break it.
Yeah,
we would love to.
We'd
break
love
it.
the exclusive scoop.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you on and really just
Bring her out.
break the internet. Right? Can you imagine how many views that would get? Right? And you'd be hailed a hero in Glasgow.
Hero.
So,
but not by the running community.
yeah. So if anybody knows anyone that was on that 10K run, you know, send us to them and see if they saw anybody up to, you know,
Up to
nefarious
the
business.
hijinks. Up to the hijinks. So,
it.
Hannah's headlines.
Yes.
Are we this week? Are we going to have as much of a controversial pop off?
Well, I don't know. This story that we've got is about Charlie XCX. So
she is.
basically, Charlie XCX at the Brit Awards wore a sheer top and had her nipples on show, and it got nearly 900 complaints to Ofcom. And I was just like, are we not past the point of caring about women's nipples? Like because it was pre-watershed. I think it was like 8:45 or something. So people were like, the wains, think of the wains.
but Wayne's know what boobs are.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And it's
like especially Wayne's. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, this was like #1 story on the BBC, and it's just like, and like Charlie had a quote. She says, "I heard ITV were complaining about my nipples.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in the era of free the nipple, though, right?" And I thought we were as well. You know,
I
there's
mean,
been.
a cracking set.
And
I mean,
she
she
does.
does, eh?
She
Like,
looks,
they're-
she
boobs.
looks brilliant. So
They
yeah,
are excellent.
I think it depends on your nipple. Nobody's wanting to see mine, right? Nobody's wanting to see the post-breastfed, perimenopausal hairy nip.
but maybe that's what we
Hairy
need.
nip!
I didn't expect you to say that.
Nobody's wanting that.
We need
But-
nipple diversity.
Well,
so
maybe
maybe
we
we
do.
Yeah, we need different
Donald
range.
Trump doesn't like the diversity.
I know he doesn't.
Just one type of
Just
nipple.
one type.
But like, remember recently when Kim Kardashian was pretty much naked bare entirely at an event? Do you remember that?
Was it not?
No, that was
was
Kanye's
Kanye's
new wife.
Oh, was
that
it?
looks just
Yeah.
like Kim
So
Kardashian.
not up to date.
Yeah, she's like an AI wife.
She is. She's AI Kim
Really?
Kardashian, and they swiftly announced their divorce 2 weeks after that happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, that's really, really bold.
Yes,
like
that was-
she's She's literally naked.
She's I mean, I've no issue with the nips.
No, I don't think.
But it's like the people.
I mean, it's surprising because you don't see it every day, like in an event through a sheer top. But I'm loving it. Like I'm here for it.
But I'm just like, who's
also got
complaining
great
about this?
titties.
Like, is it men or is it more women? You know, who's
It's
actually
gotta be.
having
900 people.
900 complaints took the time to go onto the website and complain
I just don't
about
I
that
the
feel
in
like
life.
it would be women that are complaining about
I
it. I
kinda
mean, as if a man's going to come on and be like, "That is outrageous! She
But
got
then
those
who
cracking
is?
tits out. Like, get them. No one wants to see that. A beautiful set. Get them covered up."
I don't know. Because I think for women, so for me, it's like, do you know, I really get annoyed when I was breastfeeding and you would get people like,
I mean,
and
mean,
they have
for
to like, do the
goodness
thing, like
sake.
put the cover over the top of it, which I just refuse to do.
absolutely.
Because I'm just like, I'm not like, have you ever eaten a sandwich under a duvet? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
It's a natural thing.
It's a natural thing. You're the weirdo, you know? So I would whip them out at any given moment.
Yeah, why not?
And so I kind of see many women complaining about that because
Yeah, it's true. Unless it's that, well, yeah.
but it's also the sexualization of the nipple.
That's the
Like,
thing, and
Men
it's-
have nipples. Men's nipples don't look any different from women's nipples.
Exactly. If you had
exactly.
cropped off nipples, you would not be able to tell what
Yeah.
gender the nipples belong
I just
to. It's
feel like
pure
there's
sexualization.
Probably some older women that are like, "Oh, she's giving women a bad name." I can just imagine, you know, because
Yeah.
they would probably link it to being, I don't know, like a sort of too sexualized or like slutty. But that's just not the case. I don't think
Yeah.
she's just going for it, and I think
I
champion this woman.
say get them out.
I say get them
give
out.
them a nip.
I'm in my push-up bra era this year, by the way.
Oh,
I'm
is she?
I'm a ball hair away from just.
And did you
going
steal
for
that
this.
or did you buy this bra?
No, it was Primark
Were
stolen.
you in there being
obviously.
like, oh, I just love to treat the girls to a new bra, but
I was thinking about this bra, but I thought, better no.
I'll just put my wee Tammy one back
Maybe-
on, see if it fits.
Maybe we should lead the charge, you know, now that it's getting into the spring, better weather, when it gets to taps off weather, we can make taps off nips out.
I tell you what,
think
that
so.
would
Do
get
you
us loads
like
of
a-
views on
We would
Instagram.
get lots of views on Instagram.
Tell you what,
You
Yeah.
would. Do you like a nudist beach? Like,
No.
what are your views on that?
I don't mind a nudist beach.
You were up for the tits out a second ago, and now you're like, no,
Not
absolutely
mine. I mean, I don't know. No, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I would go to a nudist beach. But maybe that's just because I'm too, I don't know, internalized shame.
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
weird. I now go on family holidays with the in-laws, so I'm not getting the nips out in those situations. But when I used to just go with my gal pals, or I used to go like when I was in my 20s,
Just
and
get
there was
them
a whole
out.
big crowd out. Everybody was just there with their bits. So I didn't bother. That was all good.
Yeah.
This is our second
second
guest
guest.
hammering at the door.
hammering.
Cool. But yeah, so I just
Yeah.
thought that was in. I just thought I didn't, this is, I didn't expect this 2025. I really thought we'd free the nip. So I think we need to lead the charge on freeing the nip.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? She's got fantastic knockers.
She does.
And
Charlie, we
she's-
support you and your nipples.
She's living her best life. They're large, but girl, they perky.
They're
Yeah.
very
Do you know what I
nice.
mean?
I've no issue with it. I've no issue.
I mean, she does have great tits. To
They
be
are
honest.
cracking.
So yeah,
Like,
and
they
people
look
also
really
complained
good.
about Sabrina Carpenter. She didn't have her tits out, but she was wearing a scantily clad outfit.
Oh, and
doing
she's
stuff.
got lots of young fans.
Yeah, well, again, yeah, I think it was pre-Watershed, but
I
it's
mean,
like
it's
they
just
were.
so surprising, like at the awards. I think, like, it is. I'm not against it in any way, but if you'd see it and you'd be like, "Oh," do you know what I mean? Like that's.
I think, do you know, are we not past this? Do you remember Janet Jackson,
Oh my
Justin
God.
Timberlake? Like how that was like 2004 or something,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
That not ended her career, but that was a massive controversy.
It pretty much did end her career
Yeah.
for about the next decade.
Yeah, just because we nip slip.
A nip slip. But I mean,
Yeah.
it was because I think remember they were like, oh, it was an accident. I was like, your nipple is bejeweled.
Yeah,
Bejeweled. Do you usually have a bejeweled nipple, Janet?
just in case.
I think she'd have been better just going like, yes, we got my nip out. It was a bejeweled nip.
Yeah,
But I think Charlie, go for it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm behind you. Let's free the nipple.
yeah. Let's do it. Lovely. Let's
yeah,
do
I
it.
agree. I agree.
Erin, thank you so much for coming on the pod. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely.
Where can people? What are you up to? Where can people find you? You want to plug anything?
Yeah, so doing my Glasgow show on this Sunday coming on the
this
16th.
podcast will not be out in time for
Yeah.
that. Sorry. So
Well,
you've
I'm
missed
doing-
Erin's show.
Well, I'm doing an Edinburgh show as well, so I'm going to be back in Hoots at the Apex.
Lovely.
At 6:30 every day.
Nice time.
So it's going to be kind of. It depends how it goes this year. It might be work in progress, or it might be like more firmed up. We'll see. But it's going to be basically jokes, some songs in there as well, and like that sort of thing, storytelling. So
Lovely.
yeah, that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to the Fringe.
I know, very exciting. Fabulous. You got anything what would like to plug?
I can't. No, I mean, my Glasgow Comedy Festival show will be out finished by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
So next Monday. But I am doing the Edinburgh Fringe. I'm at the Stand Comedy Club, Stand 1, 5 o'clock every day. The show is called Oofed, and it's coming together. I'm enjoying it.
nice.
It's coming together. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm just the same. My show is tomorrow, so again, you've all missed it. Very sad. Glasgow Comedy Festival, but I am at the Fringe. I'm at the Gilded Balloon at 4:20. My show is called Me. It's my debut show this year, so I'm very excited. And yeah, hopefully it'll be a fun time. So that's it. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, everybody.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much
Thank
for
you so
coming
much.
on, Erin.
It's been great, gals.
Awesome.
Thank you. And remember 5-star reviews and all that jazz. We say it every week. Nobody leaves them. Can you leave them?
Please do. Thank
Please
you.
leave a 5-star review.
And
That
subscribe.
would be nice.
And watch us on YouTube and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Okay.
Don't know who that was.
She's so
Bye.